Welcome back to Echo Master League Season 4, Week 7. We got our Sunday night matches for you. We're going to have two for you, one at 9 EST, one at 10 EST. So back-to-back games coming for you. Modified versus Ren here, and then we're going to have Hyperion versus Crunk. And I'll be casting both of them. Don't ask questions in chat. I'm here with co-caster Finn.
Yo, what's good, team?
And then Trot on cams. How are you feeling about this matchup, Finn?
Yeah, no, this is definitely like a revenge style kind of matchup here for Ren. You know, they just lost to Frog, lost their undefeated streak. So I'm definitely expecting big things out of them, coming into today, seeing some of that mentality, fighting through those demons that they've been having. So yeah.
Yep, I definitely see it go one of two ways, right? You see it more as a revenge game, as you see it in like a lot of competitive leagues and stuff. Or like, is their morale being affected, right? That's what's causing them to get losses and such? And are we going to see that reflected here on this neutral joust that we are going to be having right now? Who's going to win the neutral joust? This is sometimes the tone center, depending on how this goes. So neutral joust coming in is going to be picked up by Modified right off the rip, but does get picked up by Kroger's. Kroger's is going to look for a pass downfield, taking it nice and slow, calculated as we've seen Ren do in the past. Taking their time, passing it up to Table. Table cross over to Jax. Jax juking around, going to pass all the way back to Kroger's. No rush in the world. Passing it all the way to Cloud to Zuko, the three-bender. Zuko's going to throw it over to Kroger's. Kroger's lagging a little bit on my screen, picked up by Spirit. Spirit's going to throw it all the way down. It's going to bounce off shield, get picked up by the Law. And the Law, 4-3, starting with a 3-0 lead.
This is a good start here from Modified. Very unfortunate what happened in Kroger's there. Definitely lagged out a little bit. Saw like 2 discs for a moment. We'll see how Ren is able to pick up their offense. We haven't seen much from them on the offensive side. So hopefully this offensive joust will show us what they have today. It's going to be Jax here at the QB position. Going to toss someone over to Kroger's. Kroger's looking... doesn't really like what he sees so far, but is going to throw it over to Mikey. Mikey now going to pass that one over to Zuko. Zuko here in this left tunnel. Going to pass it all the way back to Jax. Jax here just taking his time. I really like this out of Ren, just figuring out, trying to bait out these fast stacks here from Modified. Jax here on Bowtie. Going to pass that one over to Kroger's. Kroger's immediately back to Jax. Trying to bait that fast stack. We'll see if it works. And it's a pass over to Kroger's. Kroger's all the way up to Zuko. Zuko now pushing up. Gonna pass the one, attempting for Mikey, but Mikey was a little bit too much forward and got stunned out there by, looks like, the Law Dash. And it's gonna be Spirit here with the disc. Gonna toss that one over to Chrome. Chrome is gonna toss that one all the way down. Maybe a potential shot, but it's gonna bounce off of clock there. Picked up by Jax. Gonna pass that one over to Zuko. Zuko now, maybe a potential shot of his own. Fast X coming down though, and Kroger's gets the 2 off the well-executed play there.
Yeah, just really well played. Anytime you can throw it into an open bubble and knowing you have that back stack coming in, very ideal, very well played. Modified not able to get the leeches in. Very, very nice to only make this a 1-possession game. We got the first offensive joust coming in here from Modified. Pass over to the Law. The Law is going to throw it all the way up and connect with Spirit. Very fast play. Attacking bubble right now as we've seen Modified play. Ryan with the disc, but a nice steal from Kroger's. Kroger's is going to throw it down right tunnel. That's going to bounce off geometry, bounce around, stay by the bow tie area. Gets picked up by Spirit, though, defending their bubble valiantly. Words. Ryan with the disc, going to pass it. Gets picked up by Zuko. Nice grab. Zuko, the 3-bender for 3, making this a 2-point lead in favor of Ren.
Yeah, that's what we know Zuko for. Those long 3s, perfectly placed there. And 18 meters per second, virtually unsavable there. All right, we'll see what Modified can do here with their second offensive joust. And, the momentum was there for them at the start, but, as the game has progressed, it's turned a little bit here in favor of Ren. It's going to be Chrome. Going to pass that one up to Spirit. Good offense here so far from Modified. Spirit now trying to dodge around Zuko. Here going to toss that one up to Ryan. Ryan now pushing in, looking for Chrome Platypus, but taken by Kroger's. Kroger's is going to send that one down the right tunnel. It's going to bounce off a lot of geometry, end up in this Modified bubble, and it's picked up by Mikey, who has the open too, and the floodgates are opening.
Definitely. Modified's quick play is working. They are getting it down on the offensive side with their offensive joust. They're just not taking advantage in bubble. Maybe slightly wider cuts, better openings. Attacking bubble a little bit better would work better in their favor. Spirit with the disc is going to pass it down to the Law. The Law is looking for a potential pass, but a nice steal comes out. It is still going to go back into Spirit's hand. Spirit's going to throw it cross over to Chrome Platypus. Chrome Platypus throwing it down tunnel. That is going to bounce perfectly, actually, into the Law's hand. The Law's throwing it up. It is going to bounce around geometry, wind up into Ryan's hand. Ryan with possibly a little bit of technical issues. But Kroger's gets the disc. It's going to get thrown down left tunnel into Jax's hand. Jax, 4-3, assisted by Kroger's, extending their lead by 7.
You know, I think that was the exact spot where Zuko shot his 3 just a few, minutes ago. And it's a 7-point lead here for Ren. It's going to be really hard for M0dified to keep up with this momentum. But, it's a master team. Anything could happen. We've seen crazier things. And they're going to try to go for a play here. The Law Dash going to try to pass up to that stack, but it's going to bounce off double diamond there into Zuko's hands, down to Kroger's. Kroger's pump fakes was thinking of the long 3. Pressured by Spirit here, just dodging around. Gets a little bit back. Going to pass that one up to Jax. Jax looking for a cut pass potentially. Nope, takes it himself. And it's a 9-point lead here for Ren.
9 points makes it rough. That's a guaranteed three possession difference if it's all threes. You know what I mean? So it's very difficult here to come back. Still plenty of time, though. M0dified just needs to get something flowing and flowing quick. Spirit with the disc going to pass to the Law. The Law is going to throw it all the way down to Trench. It is going to bounce around some geometry, get picked up quick by Kroger's. Kroger's looking for a pass, is going to pass it up to Jax. Jax looking downfield, but a nice steal from Spirit. Potentially going for the shot there, but Kroger's was in the vicinity and does grab it. Kroger's throwing it down to Zuko. Zuko throwing cross over to Jax. Jax looking for a potential pass, is going to reset it as we see him do quite often. All the time in the world with a 9-point lead. Kroger's with the disc passing down to Zuko. Zuko's going to throw it all the way down, connect with Mikey. Mikey's going to throw it. Almost a nice self-pass off shield there, but it is going to be a little bit off and gets picked up by Ryan. Ryan looking for a pass downfield, working it nice and slow. Going to pass it cross. It is going to bounce off geometry. Land into... Who was that? I have no idea. I think it wasn't Spirit. It was the Law. Landed into the Law's hand. Spirit with the disc going to pass down to the Law. The Law's going to nice pass up to Chrome Platypus for a 2.
Yeah, no, definitely a nice play there from both the Law Dash and Chrome. That's bringing some momentum back in this round 1, but we'll see if the time is too much in the favor of Ren. And they're going to have an offensive joust here, so they can decide what they want to do with this disc. It's going to be Jax here at the QB position. Going to pass that one up to Mikey. Mikey going to cross it all the way over to Kroger's. A little bit of lag here. Going to pass that one down to Zuko. Very interesting stuff. Not really sure what happened there. It's going to be Zuko just taking his time, knowing that there's only 3 minutes left in this round and they're up by 7. It's going to be back all the way to Jax here. Going to toss that one forward up to Mikey. Mikey under heavy pressure, crossing it perfectly to Kroger's. Kroger's now going to pass that one back to Jax on double diamond. Going to pass that one down to Zuko here near that trench area. Going to pass that one up to Kroger's. Kroger's now passing it up to Mikey, and Mikey beating Chrome there in M0dified's bubble, and it's back to a 9-point lead.
Those tactical passes from Ren, when they're on, they're on. And I think that's been part of their issues with the loss that they did pick up with Frud. You know what I mean? So it's like one of those things. When they're on, and those passes are tactical and deadly. So stopping those passes is the best way to shut them down. The Law with the disc looking for a pass downfield. Going to pass and connect with Ryan. Ryan with the disc looking for a potential pass here in bubble. Working it nice and slow. Connecting with Spirit. Spirit walks it in 4-2. Making this a 7-point game.
I really like what M0dified's doing here. Their bubble offense has gotten a lot better as the round has progressed, and that's definitely something that we have to watch heading into round 2 here, but there is still 2 minutes here left in this round 1. Down by 7 is M0dified, and it's going to be over to Mikey. Mikey now knows he has a lot of time to waste. Under heavy pressure there from Chrome. Going to pass that one up to Zuko. Zuko now pushing up. Under heavy pressure, going to cross that one all the way over to Jax. Jax going to reset that one back to Kroger's. Kroger's now passing it up to Jax. Jax tries. Oh, I thought that was going to be to Zuko, but it ends up being to Mikey for the 2, and it's back again to a 9-point lead.
Like I said, those passes are deadly, Finn. And that's really what is causing the big difference here. You got a modified that's trying to throw, play fast, work off relay plays, and then you have a tactical resetting Ren. Two different game styles, and one's just working better right now. The Law with the disc, passing it, good backstack coming in. Kroger steals the disc, passes it up to Zuko. Zuko shoots it, ooh, and dings it. You don't see that very often from Zuko. Gets picked up from Kroger's. Kroger's working it into bubble here. Nice and slow, and a nice 18 meter per second 2 for Kroger's.
Yeah, it's definitely going to seal a round one here in favor of Ren. And, maybe that revenge game narrative has some, some meaning to it. We'll see heading into these next rounds. But, modified here with an offensive possession around 30 seconds left. They could still grab, a big three here, set the momentum heading into round two. Chrome Platypus under heavy pressure gets it off, though, to the Lawdash. The Lawdash kind of throwing it behind his back, ends up in the hands of Zuko. Potential dribble attempt here, going to be over to Mikey for the three, and that is going to seal round one here in favor of Ren.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, I'm just gonna yap now because timer's gonna go down. It's definitely just one of those things where you have two 100% different play styles right now is what we're seeing. I think you would agree, Finn.
Oh yeah, totally.
We're seeing two contradicting play styles, and Ren's is just working better. They're allowing resets. The only way to really stop that really tactical passing play style is to stun. It's chess, right? Is the best way. I don't know if you're accepting this reference, Finn, but it's like chess. You got to take out the pieces, right? So they don't have pieces to pass to, right? So you have to stun out the pieces of the pass, leave them with no options, get the disc, and then you can play fast, right? So
Right.
you can't let them play their speed because you're gonna lose playing against a team playing their own speed. If that makes any sense, I might just be, I might just be talking out of my butt. All right, Finn, what do you got to say about it?
Yeah, no, it definitely reminds me of a lot in soccer, of how, lower ranked teams attempt to try to beat, the better teams, the Real Madrids, the FC Barcelonas. They try to do something called haramball. They try to stack the box, prevent those passes, try to play physical, and try to interrupt those passes. So Modified is probably going to have to switch to a strategy similar to that in order to stop Ren's precision. But at the same time, I did notice a lot of issues from Modified in terms of giving up possession and causing a lot of issues. So yeah, we're headed for a round two here. Neutral joust. Oh, and it is paused.
They paused. So we get to sit here and yap to y'all.
I
It's
guess
phenomenal.
so.
I love our chat's so active right now, but it's crazy. It's about nothing related to the game, if you want to believe it or not. Um, nah, we're having a good one. I don't know why they paused. Well, we never get to know that, Finn. It's kind of crazy.
I
But
know.
it's like I said, it's been a decent game, all things considered, the big lead. I just would like to see Modified. Maybe they got to do one of two things here, right? They got to get more stuns out, allow their fast play style to work, be more effective in bubble, right? Because they get it to bubble, they just aren't executing in bubble, right? Or you see them slow down and try to play Ren style. I don't see that style working quite as much, but it's definitely something they could try, right? So there's the options in my head. Um, what do you think, Finn? As someone who hasn't
Yeah.
played Echo before.
I really like what Modified was doing later into that round one. They were kind of going fast and then they were kind of stacking that bubble. And, on offense, that really worked out for them. They were able to get those passes, very precision. It didn't work out so much in the beginning of round one. They were getting intercepted. They held onto the disc for too long. But, later into that round two, I really liked what I saw out of this Modified team.
I mean, this game also has pretty high implications for Modified as well. Being the number 7 team in the league right now, losing this could cause more teams to jump you in the rankings, right? Where it puts you in a position where, like, am I going to stay in Master, right? Especially with the MMR being so close. They're at 861. Flossie's at 855, 854 coming in from 2042. Offense, neutral Joust coming in. That was out of nowhere. Jax with the disc, passing over to Kroger's. Kroger's with the disc, passing to Zuko. Zuko looking for a pass here in bubble. And goes for the bounce shot and the self goal coming in from Chrome Platypus.
Very unfortunate there for this modified team, but they have an offensive joust. We'll see what they're able to do here.
By the way, wild card is currently number 5. I'm letting chat know. You're good, Finn. Sorry.
All right. They're going to be headed here for an offensive joust. We'll see what they do. See if they go fast. And it looks like they're going to try. It's going to be the Lawdash. Going to pass that one up to Chrome. Chrome going to pass that stack, but it's going to bounce off some geometry there. That central diamond there. It's going to be Zuko here with the disc. Going to try to do a dribble attempt of their own. It's going to bounce off some geometry. A little bit of going to float around here. Going to be picked up by Spirit, though. Spirit going to reset that one all the way back to Ryan. Ryan now just waiting and taking space. Going to pass that one all the way forward. Not sure if anybody's there, but actually Spirit's there. Spirit over to Ryan, but that would have been a great play there. You want that one back if you're modified. It's going to be picked up here by Kroger's off the missed pass. Potentially a mail slot, and he will get it. And it's a 5-0 lead here for Ren.
Absolutely. 5-point lead. Good start here coming in from Ren. And we got the first second offensive joust coming in from Modified. Seeing if they can get momentum going. Pass over to the Law. The Law is going to throw it through, but a nice pick coming in from Mikey. Mikey with the disc goes for a potential boop. I think that it does bounce hard off Cloud. Gets back into Mikey's hand. Mikey to Zuko. Zuko for the walk and gets it. Nice little dunk for 2.
Fast momentum here for this Ren team. That revenge story kind of narrative is heating up here. Ren is really looking to kill this modified team here in this round 2. But there's still 8 minutes, so anything could happen. Modified here with another offensive joust, and they're going to go for a very similar play to what they've been doing. Going to miss a little bit. It's going to be picked up here by Jax. Jax going to pass that one over to... Not really sure who tried to pick that up. But it's going to be Zuko getting stunned out by Ryan. But Mikey slaps it in 4-2, and it's a 9-0 lead here for Ren.
After a rough round 1, you see teams take one of 2 approaches, where you see them really come out firing or very stagnant. We're seeing a very stagnant Modified right now. They need to get it going. They're letting a big lead happen, 9-point lead. Offensive joust coming in here from Spirit. They're taking more of a slow, reserved approach than what we've seen. Pass down to Trap by the Law. The Law's going to bounce it off Geode. It gets picked up. And Zuko, the 3-bender for 3.
Yeah, good stuff here from Ren. They're really killing this modified team. I just crashed, so I'm going to be loading in, so take it away.
Yeah, offensive joust coming in here from Modified. We are getting closer and closer to that M-word territory if Modified cannot get it working. And a steal happens once again. And a long 3 attempt happens, but doesn't connect. Zuko gets the disc. Going to pass up. Tries to go for the little flick shot. Mikey gets stunned mid-shot. Kroger's is going to pass it clock over to Jax. Jax walking it in. Going to pass it over to Kroger's. Kroger's with the disc. Nice little slap there by Spirit. Spirit's going to grab the disc. We'll look for a potential clear here. I'm working it nice and slow, waiting for some teammates to get upfield. Connecting with Chrome Platypus. Chrome Platypus with the disc. Looking for a potential pass. Is going to pass it cross over to Ryan. Ryan's going to pass it up ceiling, back down to Ryan. Ryan's going to reset it all the way back, taking a playbook out of Ren's playstyle recently. Spirit with the disc, going to pass it ceiling over to the Law. Big stack coming in. Mikey steals the disc. Nice little dribble attempt here. Going to pick it up. Zuko is going to throw it all the way down into bubble. Going to get picked up quick by Ryan. Modified waking up here in this round, but still not able to execute on the offensive end. The Law with the disc, looking for a potential pass. It is going to be working nice and slow around that pack area, passing it down Trent Valley over to Ryan. Chrome with the disc, passing back to Ryan. Ryan tried to pass it to Chrome, but gets picked up by Jax. Jax gets the clear up top trench, gets picked up by Zuko. Zuko goes for the 3, dings it high and to the right. Zuko's a little bit off today, more off than I usually see him. Mikey with the disc, gets stunned out going for the shot. Pass back to Kroger's. Kroger's looking for a potential pass back to Jax. And Jax for a nice 2, extending their lead by 14.
Ren really killing Modified here. Modified is gonna have to figure out something as we're headed to the midway point of this round. So, definitely comeback still possible, but the odds are stacked here against Modified. We'll see what they can do, though. It's gonna be Spirit here at the QB position. More of a traditional kind of play here that they're going for. 1-2-1. It's gonna be over to Chrome Platypus. Gonna try to cross that one to the Lodash, but the Lodash gets stunned out. It's gonna be picked up here by Mikey. Mikey gonna pass the one over to Jax. Jax over to Zuko, and Zuko gets around Spirit there for the 2, and we are headed potentially for a Mercy.
No, don't say the word. Don't say the word. It's like the one rule. You call it the M word. You don't say the word. Offensive joust coming in by Modified. Then you get yelled for Caster's Curse. You can't be doing that. The Law with the disc. Passing it all the way down, gets picked up quick by Kroger's. Kroger's throwing it down. Jax with the disc. Gonna pass it cross over to Zuko. Zuko juking around some geometry. Looking for a pass. Connects to Mikey. And that self-goal puts us in 2 points of the M word.
That's just good stuff here from Ren. Able to stack that bubble. And we really have not seen Modified at all on offense in this round, too. Ren doing a really good job of just taking possession and just counterattacking really, really effectively here. It's going to be Spirit here at the QB position. Potentially, yep, going to cross it over to Ryan. Going to pass it back to Spirit. Spirit all the way forward to the Lodash. The Lodash looking for a pass cross to Chrome, but going to keep it for a little bit. Going to pass that one back up to Ryan. Ryan under heavy pressure. Going to pass that one forward to the Lodash, but just out of reach there. It's going to be picked up here by Kroger's and a potential game ender here by Ren. We'll see what they do. It's going to be up to Zuko. Zuko cross over to Jax. Jax now looking for an opening here. Going to pass the one all the way up to Mikey. Mikey now over to Zuko. And Zuko with the bounce shot off of clock to end it here in round 2. Very well played here by Ren.
Absolutely. Coming back with vengeance, getting that Mercy win against any words are hard right now. Master team. You'd think I was drunk right now. Jesus. Any master team's difficult. So Ren coming back, hitting them hard. Modified's gonna tank a little bit in the rankings. Possibly some new faces, new names getting closer, ever closer to that master tier. So definitely interesting. It was fun casting. We do have one more cast coming to you guys in about 30-ish minutes. So definitely stick around. It will be Crunk versus Hyperion. I will be casting it. I am not currently on Crunk anymore. So we'll see how they do. Finn, any closing words?
Nothing from me. It's very well played here by Ren. Definitely a revenge game for them.
All right. So it's been fun. Peace up. 8 sound.
Yeah, yeah. It's